Yo, yo. The generals and captains asking what's happening and why I ain't rapping. I'm sick of these Jewish bastards and they predatorial tactics. And plus, I'm too rugged to sign a deal. Integrity locked and sealed. Hold on, I said I'm too rugged to sign a deal. Integrity locked and sealed. I pop the trunk and then I pop you before I pop a pill and be sluggish in front of the general public. Fuck that, I'm a changed nigga. You're looking at the epitome of it. Got multiple, I'm honest and they still love it. You can bang this on the way home, on the way to your safe zone. I ain't living how they living, I give them something to hate on. I shedded a tear for my brother's mother, knowing she carried a solid nigga. It was an honor to carry her with him. Most High in Christ. How you slaughter the flock and you don't want beef. Coward building bunkers trying to duck heat. Man, that shit's so weak. Iron tucked is out of sight, but not out of reach. Know your men, count your sheep, they hunt our steps. You a blood-sucking freak. You're a fucking leech. You're a fucking sucker. We see canes on feet and them servants on horses. The road split, it's not a road trip. We deliver the orders. Focus on what's current. Turn my phone off, a view by the waters. Train my sons for warfare. Different love for my daughters. Empty cans with no substance. I'm free from all that fuck shit. Tear drop, denim on my brother's linen. Mexican dinners, I brought the bouquet for my Dominican woman. That's smooth apologies. Damn. Yeah, I'm too rugged to sign a deal. Integrity locked and sealed. Yeah, I'm too rugged to sign a deal. Integrity locked and sealed. Yeah, I'm too rugged to sign a deal. Integrity locked and sealed. Yeah, I'm too rugged to sign a deal. Integrity locked and sealed. Yeah.
Check, check. Can you hear me now? Any sound now? It's locked in, mic. Check, check. Oh, there we go. Okay. No sweat. Got it going. Most High in Christ. Any sound now? It's locked in, mic. All right, there we go. We good to go. Hey, Shalom. Yahba Hashem Yahushai Barakathum. To all the brothers, Yahweh Shemal Lathum Ba Hashem Yahushai. To all the sisters, I'm Priest and Officer 5000 coming down holding it down for the Lashawan Qadash. We are the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Started out on 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General Yahana. Since 1969, we've been teaching the truth. We've been defending the truth, and we've been saying that the oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of. And tonight, we're about to go into something heavy, that it is a destruction in the Black and brown community. You understand? And just this Monday, they celebrated this day like if it was well, I guess in America now it's because now celebrates, and I'm talking about drug abuse. We have to put an end to everything that destroys the Black and brown community. And one thing is that modern culture promotes 420, right? Marijuana, weed, and drug use as normal and even beneficial. They say that it helps you with your eyes, your back, and everything, your spirit, and it's sold as relaxation. It's sold as an escape and a way to cope with pressure, push through music, push through social media, movies, right? They have, what is it, Cheech and Chong. They have How High. They have that movie with Wiz Khalifa. Because they also make a joke out of it. You understand? And also in everyday conversations, that's how they influence marijuana. You understand? And then until Salakia. Right, and they push it until it starts to feel acceptable and familiar. But the Most High, he does not play with the mind like that, right? The mind is something that must be guarded, is accepted. It is spread through influence, right? And this is the culture of the oppressor, right? And we're gonna separate culture from normalization, right? From biblical truth, and we're gonna expose how drug culture follows the pattern. And we're gonna go into the book of Proverbs, the 16th chapter. You understand? Something that's taken, that's altered, and then is spread like wildfire, right? Who does that? Your drug dealers, right? And the Most High requires a guarded and disciplined mind, right? And this is the issue, that it is not the plant itself, because it does have benefits, right? It is the effect and what man has turned it into. If it alters your mind, it's gonna weaken, and it weakens your control, and it's gonna spread destructive behavior, and it conflicts with judgment, awareness, and obedience. And what is developed for harm and then promoted does not stay um, the same. What they call it, stepped on, right? It is not pure no more, right? It becomes an influence, and influence once normalized spreads like wildfire. You understand? So today we're gonna go into 420 and what the Bible, once again, the Most High is the authority over blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. You understand? We are God's chosen people, and we never ask, what does the Most High have to say about getting high, about drug dealing, drug abuse, what have you. You understand? So we're gonna go into. I'm gonna get these keywords to today's keywords. Today's keywords are hold on, bear with me real quick. Let me grab something. In the meantime, you can drop a like, share the class, and if you have any questions regarding the topic, you can also uh, ask your questions. Okay, no sweat. No sweat. Let's just look it up. Which one is it? Okay, we ready to rock and roll. So the first word we have Karash. Karash. And again, we go into the Paleo Hebrew, the ancient Hebrew, which is the Lashawan Qadash. This has nothing to do with modern Hebrew or Yiddish. You understand? The Lashawan Qadash is the biblical Hebrew. So Karash, and this is to devise. To devise, plan, work, and that is work. I'm gonna do an arrow because it continues work beneath the surface. Beneath the right? Work beneath the surface, and this is not random. All right, this is it is developed, taking what is in the ground, right? And we're gonna, just so you could get an understanding, we're gonna go into the book of Proverbs. You understand, the 16th chapter. Matter of fact, this class is tailored to Proverbs the 16th chapter, because a lot of so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans don't know, or they never heard in that Christian church of abuses of women and children, that it is against the Most High to get high, to smoke weed, to celebrate 420. Right? So it is something that that is taken, that what is in the ground and worked into and worked until it becomes something harmful. And we're talking about drugs, right? In the Bible, it calls it a sorcerer or a witchcraft, right? It's you take something and you put it in a pot and you mix it, you alter the chemicals, and now you have a substance. Qadash. And I'm gonna just put the Strongs is H2790. Next word, Ra'ai. Ra'ai, that is it means evil, harmful, destructive. And what comes out of that process is no longer neutral. Destructive. All right, it's something that starts to damage you, and that is H7451. Next word is Ash. Ash. Okay, so Ash is fire. Literal fire. Right? And it's fire that burns and spreads. And once it is lit, once it's lit at the mouth, it doesn't stay contained. That's H784. Next word is Shapa. Shapa. Shapa means lip. All right, I'm gonna say lips, speech. And this is a twofold. This is twofold because we're gonna go again into the scripture, right? And when you light anything, any substance, you light it up. Put it to your lips, you light it up, right? And that spreads, and it spreads into, because weed is called a gateway drug, right? But then the speech, you start telling everybody about, you know, what you went through, your experience, and you joke about it, and this and that, and now you start to influence, and it spreads like wildfire, right? So again, you put it to your mouth, and it's activated. It doesn't stay eternal. It spreads. H. Let me do it like this. Parentheses. 3820. The next word is lab. Lab. That's mind. So lab is heart. But in the scriptures, your heart is your mind, your inner thoughts. Right? And everything starts here. Everything starts in your mind. If it's off, everything that follows will be off. Inner, or like that, thoughts. H3. Oh, Salakia, this is wrong. Salakia, this one was wrong. For Shapah, it's H8193. For Lab, it's H3820. Next word is Shamar. Now, if y'all noticed, if y'all been tuning in consistently, Shamar is a word that comes up. Shamar is part of Black, Hispanic, and Native American identity. You understand? Shamar. Shamar, that's to guard. Keep. Protect. Right? And if you're not guarding your mind, you're allowing things in that will control you. H8104. Shamar. Next word is Bala. Balal. Balal is to mix, confuse. So taking something natural and changing it into something else. Confuse, alter. Right? And that alteration is where the problem begins. H1101. Next word. It is Ma. Mashachya. Mashachya. Mashakyach is destroyed. corrupt, and this is the result that it damages the body and the mind once it's used and spread. Corrupt, and that is H7843. Okay, I have a few more words, so I'm gonna put them on the side. I'm gonna leave them on the board for 30 seconds, and then okay, I don't want to do that. Let me see. How can I do this? What does it look like on the screen? So lock it. Okay, yeah. I'll put it on the side. Shalom, Yashubakathad. Officer Shadow Rock in the house, in the building. So like a Pathya. 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 And it means simple-minded. Simple-minded, easily influenced. And also it means foolish. Right? So this is who gets pulled into it. When I mean into it, meaning into destruction. Right? People who don't guard themselves get led into destruction. And that is H6612. Pathya. Next one, the rock. Some of these words we've been using in prime. Shamar, right? The rock, lifestyle, path, lifestyle, right? And this is how it turns from a choice into a lifestyle. Right? It becomes your way. That's what the Lord said, do not go into the way of the heathen. And we're going to get that. The rock. And that is H1471. Oh, Salakia. That's not it. H1870. Last word is Gayam. Gayam. Gayam means nations, heathens. Right? This is where it's normalized outside of the covenant, the promise we made with the Most High. Heathens, right? Then it's brought in and accepted. H1471. Okay, so I'm gonna leave this up real quick for like 30 seconds, and then we're gonna go into the critical sentence. Shalom. I'm gonna give a shout out to everybody tuning in. Ramirez, Shalom Carnal, Officer Shadow Rock, Shalom, Shalom Carnal. Right, and we got Trooper Shakat as well. Shalom Carnal. All right, no sweat. Y'all can also take a screenshot. You can zoom in if you're on your phone. Zoom in, take a screenshot, and put it in your notes. So I'm just going to erase the ones on this side, just so I could use the board. So this is the critical sentence. Okay, and the critical sentence is Ayash. Ayash, Patya, Kharash, Kharash, Rai. Wa, Ba, Wa, Ba, Shapatwa, Sha, Pa, Wa, Sha. All right. Ayash, Patya, Karash, Ra'ai, Waba, Shapatwa, Ash. And I'm gonna write it out in the English. Ayash, Patya, Karash, Ra'ai, Wa, Ba, Sha, Path, Ya. So like a Shapat Wa, Ash. All right, and that means a simple man develops evil and in his lips is fire. right? So in the Bible, you don't have a word for drugs or what have you, but when you say in his lips is fire, that means that there is a substance. There is destruction, right? And then we're gonna work it. We're gonna break it down word by word. So ash, that's Salakia. Ayash, Ayash, Ayash is man. Ayash is man, and that is H376. Patya. Patya is simple. Right? You can always go back to the key words so you could get the other definitions, right? Because it not only does it mean simple, it means naive. It means easily influenced, right? So simple. And that is H6612. Next word is Karash. Karash means develop. Right? So it also means devise or work beneath the surface. So this is develop. H2790. That's the Strongs. Rye. That is evil. H74551. Then we have Y. That is it means and, but it is a preposition. And I'm going to point it out over here. I'm going to write parentheses. It is a preposition. Okay. We are. That's the preposition. And it means in. So like it, my writing's starting to get a little sloppy. Now let me point out these prepositions. So the Y and the ba. Prepositions are like suffixes, right? It's like it's a suffix. So Y means and, ba means in. Waba shapath wa. So shapath wa. Right? So shapath wa means his lips. And I'm gonna break it down. And the root word is shapath or shapah. It comes from the root word shapah, which means lips, right? Shapath wa. That's H8193. All right. So the root word is shapah. But when the Y is a possessive or a suffix, and I'm gonna circle that in the blue. So I'm using the green for prepositions, and I'm using the blue for possessives or suffix, right? So the Y means his. Let me underline it. So we have Y and so Y preposition and by preposition in, and then we have Y as a possessive is his. Shapat Y, that's his lips. And the last word is ash. And that's fire. H784. All right, so what we're gonna do is read the sentence out loud, and then go over it in the Hebrew, and then translate it. And then we're gonna break it down. All right, so Ayash, Pathya, Karash, Ra'ai, Waba, Shapath Wa, Ash. Ayash, Pathya, Karash, Ra'ai, Waba, Shapath Wa, Ash. Right? A simple man develops evil, and in his lips is fire. All right, and we're talking about drug use, drug abuse. All right, so Ayash means man. H376. Pathya is simple. H6612. Karash, develop. H2790. Ra'ai, evil. H7451. Wa is a preposition, it means and. Ba is another preposition, it means in. Shapath Wa, the root word is shapah, and we have a Wa as a possessive or suffix, it means his, right? So when you say Shapath Wa, it's his lips. Ash, fire. So now, if this is the first time tuning into my class, I also like to get some scriptures to help you understand the sentence. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna turn my camera over. I'm gonna go into. I'm gonna share my screen. Okay, bear with me. We're gonna go into the Bible, so let me share my screen. And we're going into the book of Proverbs. They come up. Okay, there we go. So I'm gonna read. Let me get this first. Proverbs, the 16th chapter. We're going to get verse 27. Okay, so I'm going to read Proverbs 16 and 27. Let me see. Was it loading? There we go. An ungodly man diggeth up evil. So we're talking about an ungodly man. This is the lifestyle of an ungodly man, right? Diggeth up evil. I'm gonna read the precept first, right? And in his lips there is as a burning fire. I'm gonna break it down. So you have starts in the ground as a natural source, and it gets handled. It gets altered and refined by man. The weed plant. In order for you to get weed or bud, you have to dig up the plant, you have to hang it, dry it, then they clip it, right? Same thing with cocaine. They get the coca leaf, they mix it with gasoline and chemicals, turn it into a paste, and they'll also cook it, turn it into crack. Same thing with heroin and what have you, right? It starts in the ground. All drugs come from the ground, and then it gets handled and altered by men, and it gets refined, and then it gets used and promoted, right? So again, what starts as natural gets taken, worked on, understand? And in his lips there is a burning fire. Now, the fire you have to break down the weed. You have to roll it up. You have to lick it and suck it. And you do the same thing. After you go from sucking a blunt, you go to sucking a pipe. Salakia. That sounds disgusting. Right? So that's a literal fire. There's a flame at the mouth when it's used. That flame. Let me fix my camera. Salakia. Let me see. Is it stuck? Okay. Let me fix my camera. Talk about that. Right. So that flame represents the moment that the behavior is activated, and it is not a behavior that blacks. It's not a behavior that's congruent with blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. And what starts at the mouth doesn't stay there. It spreads. You understand? That man takes something from the ground, alters it, prepares it, then he puts it in his mouth, and now there's fire. And right, that's not just use. That's the start. It's built. Right? What starts small and it gets repeated, right? And when it gets repeated, it becomes a habit. And what becomes a habit, now it turns into something you start to depend on. And once it reaches that point, it's no longer just behavior, it's an influence. And the influence spreads. You understand? Now let's go to the book of Peter, First Peter. Five and 8. Oh, so yes, if you get high, you are an ungodly man. Let me go to First Peter. Lock it. Bear with me. Okay. So like my internet is a little bit jammed up. Um, so this is the book of First Peter 5 and 8. Well, this is what the Bible has to say about getting high. First Peter 5 and 8. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, if you didn't know, the Christian church has never told you that you have enemies. According to the Bible, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we have enemies because your adversary, that is an enemy. The devil, who is the devil according to the Bible? The oppressor, the settler, as a roaring lion, walketh about. You ever seen what is it? Discovery Channel, and they show you when a lion is hunting and he's hungry, right? He doesn't stop. He attacks until he unalives. He'll grab you by the neck, hold on to you, and then he starts to rip you apart while you alive. Walketh about, seeking whom he may devour. That's the spirit of the oppressor. He loves black and Hispanics when they are high, because he knows that they are vulnerable and they drop their guard. Every time you see a lion hunt, he only attacks when the prey drops their guard. For one second, the prey will look down because he's hungry or he's thirsty. And that's when the lion seeks um, to attack, right? Is an exposed mind, and an exposed mind is easily controlled. And choosing to get high is choosing to step out of awareness and let me get the next scripture. No sweat. Don't take my word for it. What did I say? Micah We're going to go to Micah 2 and 10. Okay. So this is the book of Micah 2 and verse 10. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted, it shall destroy you, even with a sword destruction. Okay, so weed as legal, right? And this is one thing that they call weed. They call it an scapegoat drug. And yeah, that already tells you that there's something off. You understand? When if you need to get high just to breathe through pressure, because America is putting pressure on Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, that's not peace. That's survival mode. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we're trying to survive in America because America is putting pressure on us. And America is not our rest. Because America says that it is legal to get high, it doesn't mean that you can rest and you get peace when you light up and get high. Right? America is a place built on pressure. And it is always going to produce people looking for a way out. Right? If your only relief is escape, then you're not free. You are really coping with captivity, right? And once again, getting high in America, it is not your rest. It is destruction disguised as relief. And what feels like peace is actually actually escapes. Is escape that trains you to avoid pressure instead of enduring it. You have to endure what you're going through. Don't get high, because you're going to be devoured by the devil. If it weakens your discipline, and it's going to pull you off course. It is not rest. You understand? It is deception. Legalizing America is a deception for the destruction of Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. You understand? Okay, Salakia, my internet is freezing up. Right, so it doesn't start with smoke, because you know, when you inhale and you take a pull of the smoke and you cough, that is your body rejecting the weed. Right? It start with smoke. Convince yourself that you're gonna get some type of relief, because once again, it is called a scapegoat drug. You're trying to escape reality, and once it reaches your mouth, it's already in motion. And fire, again, does not stay contained, and neither does what's being built inside of you. You won't be able to contain yourself, and now you're going to destroy yourself along with everybody who looks up to you. You don't know that you are a, a superhero to somebody around you, among you, but you are destroying them because you're too weak to endure the pressure that America is building. Uh, we'll build you up, right? We'll help you defeat those demons, but we're not gonna beg you. Let's continue. I'm gonna turn my camera around so we go back on the board. Okay, we're gonna go to Ecclesiasticus, 38th chapter. And we're gonna do verse 4. Uh, so like, let me present my screen. This is the book of Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha, 38 and verse 4. The Lord had created medicines out of the earth, and he that is wise will not abhor them. Right? So yeah, the Most High, because that's the first thing weed heads run to. They say, but weed comes from the earth. The Most High created it. Yes, he did create um, the herb, right? And a lot of these herbs have medicinal properties. They can benefit you. They can benefit your health, but it is not created. It was never created for the intent. And we're going to read it in here. And he that is wise will not abhor them. Abhor means to abuse. He that is wise would not abhor them. Now, they have Oxycontin, which I believe it comes from heroin, right? They have all these painkillers that come from heroin, right? And the Most High created it. There's another precept where he says that trust in a physician, right? Because the Most High created them. Just paraphrasing, right? So the Most High put a spirit in man to create medicine, but it was never to be altered for abuse. The Most High does create things from the earth, but that doesn't give men permission to misuse the Most High's creation, right? The Most High never approved for men to misuse His creation, and when something that is made for healing is turned into a habit, it stops being medicine and it becomes abuse. Right? You have niggas on lean. Lean was made for medicine, but it has to be prescribed by a doctor. That's the reason why the Most High created doctors, so they can control the prescription. Because that men, they will abuse it. This is the a weed head's favorite verse. Hold on. Which is upon the face of the earth. A drug addict is going to read that, close up the book, and say, see, the Most High said he has given us every herb bearing seed which is upon the face of the earth. But they don't have the understanding, because the Christian church has failed Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. They don't know. They never read the whole verse, right? And every tree, and that which is the fruit of a tree, yielding seed, to you it shall be for meat. And it say, for you it shall be to inhale, for you it shall be to smoke. It said, to you it shall be for meat. If the Most High gave us every herb bearing seed which is upon the face of the earth, and you say, see, there you go, I could smoke weed, then don't be a hypocrite. Go smoke some cilantro. Go smoke some damn parsley. You're lying to yourself. God gave provision with purpose, not for intoxication, not for escape or self-destruction. Just because it exists does not make it lawful, right? Twisting what was created into something harmful, right? It is corruption. It's a lot. Okay. Bear with me. My internet is lagging. Next verse. Let me get 1 Corinthians. And we're going to do 3 and 16. The book of 1 Corinthians. Oh, somebody better go to 3. Yeah, kind of 3 and 16. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna read a few verses. So let me just keep it up like this. 1 Corinthians 3 and 16. Know ye not that ye are the temple of God in you? Don't you know that your temple, your body, is of God, and that the Spirit of God dwelleth in you? That means that you don't have liberty to do anything with your body. America is against the Most High, because America says that it is your body, your choice. That's not what the Bible says. The Bible says, don't ye know, So like a know ye not that ye are the temple of God. Your body belongs to the Most High. Verse 17, if any man defile the temple of God, for the temple of God is holy, which temple ye are. So if you defile the Most High, your body once again belongs to the Most High. And if you defile it, how do you defile it? You defile it with things that are ungodly, weed, what have you. You understand? And according to the class, we're talking about drug abuse. You defile your body that belongs to the Most High with drug abuse, him shall God destroy. Why doesn't the Christian church that abuses women and children warn you that if you defile your temple, right? Because what do they say? You go and you confess, you go and you baptize yourself 4 or 5 times a year, but the pastor, the spiritual leader is going to tell you that God hates the sin but does not hate the person. That is a lie. And they are teaching the truth of the Bible. They will warn you that God is going to destroy you because your body belongs to him, to the Most High. For the temple of God is holy. Holy mean in the Hebrew is Qadash, which means separate, set apart. The Most High has set your body, if you're a so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American, he has set your body is separate and apart from everyone else. Everyone, other nations, they can do whatever they want with their bodies. But Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans, be careful, because you will be destroyed. Which temple ye are. Verse 18, let no man deceive himself. If any man among you seemeth to be wise in this world, let him become a fool, that he may be wise. Right? So God gave us a holy body. Your body to experiment on, or to weaken. Right? You can't make the Most High's temple weak. You make it weak and you make it utterly disgusting when you get high. What you put in your body matters. Another way you defile your temple is by eating crab, shrimp, pork, and lobster. It matters what you put into your body, because those utterly disgusting things, which the Most High calls an abomination, alters your health, alters your mind, body, and spirit. You understand? It dulls you, or it ends up controlling you, and that's not honor. That's not honorable, right? That is contamination. You contaminate your body with disgusting, with so like with filthy things. A temple is maintained through discipline and obedience, not indulgence. You can't indulge in abominations. we're going to just give you one scripture, the book of Leviticus. We're going to Leviticus and 26. We get comfortable. This is Leviticus. Unto me, for I, the Lord, am holy, and have severed you from other people, that ye should be mine. Right? So holiness is not just what you claim. Right? You have a lot of Christians that claim to be holy, but they don't do anything that separates them from the world. Right? Holiness is what you separate yourself from. And how do you know what to separate yourself from? The Most High is the authority of what Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans have to be set apart from, separate from. You understand? And I'm talking about the law, statutes, and commandments. That is how you become holy. You become disciplined and obedient, right? And this is the one thing that we have to hide, right? I don't know if you know. I don't know if Blacks and Hispanics know that weed is the Hindus' culture. You go to India, right? They are dirty. They got their hair. That is, getting high is part of serving their God, which their God is Krishna. They got Krishna has like 4 arms and 4 legs or what have you, right? That's Iwalam in the Hebrew. That's the nation of Iwalam, the so-called Hindus and Indians. You understand? And Iwalam means hideous. And when you get high, you got dreadlocks, you have assimilated to another people's, when I say people, the heathens culture. You look hideous to the Most High God. That's what Iwalam means. Right? And God, the Most High, calls his chosen children, the children of Israel, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, the true descendants of the biblical Israelites. He calls us to be holy. All right. So then holiness demands practical distance from the other nation's behavior. You cannot say that you are holy while sharing the same indulgence as the world around you. Separation is not just theology. It's a behavior. Even when someone else is doing it. All right, so holy requires separation. That's what holy means. Holy means set apart, right? And separation shows in your behavior. If somebody's getting high, when you separate yourself, you are demonstrating to the Most High that your behavior is congruent to His laws, statutes, and commandments. You belong to the Most High. You understand? Let me go back to the board. Um, and we're going to go to Leviticus 20, the same chapter, and we're going to go to we're going to go up to verse 23. This is why the Most High warned us to be separate. And ye shall not walk in the manners of the nations which I cast out before you, for they committed all these things, and therefore I abhor them. All right, so the Most High told us to be separate. He warned the children of Israel, the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, not to walk in the manners of the nations. That means not to copy their behavior, their values, their customs, just because they are widespread, right? Weed smoking is normalized by the world. It is marketed, it is celebrated, it is joked about, and wrapped in culture. But the fact that a society celebrates a thing does not make it holy. The nations build lifestyles around indulgence, but the Most High calls his people to separate from those disgusting lifestyles, right? And a lot of people are not smoking because they need healing. They are lying to themselves. You know, like, why do you smoke? Like, oh, because I got high blood pressure, because I can't eat, because I have stomach pains, because I have cataracts, and, you know, excuses. They are smoking because they want relief without discipline. And that is a dangerous exchange, because once comfort becomes the standard, obedience starts getting measured by feelings instead of the Most High's commandments. And the Most High never told his chosen people, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, to chase relief whenever or wherever they can find it, right? He told righteousness. That means the law, statutes, and commandments, even when flesh wants what's easy. It is easy to get high and forget about the things that are happening around you. But you have to endure. You have to fight. How can you fight if you are high? You know, if they come banging at your door, if you're a Hispanic, right? They come banging at your door. So like and you know, they come looking for your relative. You know, the agencies are out there looking for blacks and Hispanics. You must be sober when you are driving your children to school. You must be sober when you are at the supermarket. Wherever you go, you must be sober, because if you're high, best believe, and Salaki, I say this because a lot of grandparents, right? When you take your parents to the doctor, they don't even want to go to the doctor no more, because they are afraid that the agencies are going to pull up and snatch them, kidnap them, and throw them in the detention center and forget about them. And they say you can't be high, because that's when you drop your guard. That is when they are going to take your relatives. You understand? And we feels like relief, like rest, because it's a quiet sensation. But the Most High never called numbness peace. To be numb is not peace. That is false rest, and it keeps you in bondage. You understand? Let me get the last um let me turn my camera over.